Howdy, hi there, everybody, and welcome back to the next edition of Nick and Knarf. Nick and Frank, two brothers in Tucson, bringing you great music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. And we're bringing you today kind of like a split personality. We're bringing you the original band that did the song Lies in the 60s called the Knickerbockers. And then we're also going to be bringing you...
We're bringing you a redo cover of it. I just found this out the other night, and I fell in love with this. I thought we got to do a video about these two version songs by a band called, I don't even know if they're a band. They're sort of like a constructed name by an artist. The band's name is bensteele&hisbarehands. And this is a 1983 techno revisitation of the original hit song by the Knickerbockers, which came out in 1965. I never knew this other song existed till the other night, but I found it and I wanted to do this comparison so you guys could really enjoy this. And there's a lot of personal history along with this. But first, Nick's going to tell you a little bit about the Knickerbockers.
Well, the Knickerbockers, as we mentioned earlier, was an American garage band formed in Bergenfield, New Jersey in 64. They released their hit in 65, Lies, which was known for its resemblance to the Beatles. The band was formed by brothers Beau Charles and John Charles, along with, and they kind of changed, their birth names were Robert and John Carlos Cecchino.
Italiani, sono Italiani.
So one of the things it says is they met Buddy Randell, and Randall was previously in the Rockin Saints and the Royal Teens. And what was kind of interesting about this is I was reading that, you know, they were short-lived, of course, as many of the one-hit wonders were in the 60s. And it always, of course, reminds me of that song, of that famous movie, That Thing You Do. I just love that one. And Andy and others, we've talked about the one-hit wonders. But what was so interesting about this is that one of the guys, and I can't remember his name right now, left the group and actually replaced Bill Medley in the Righteous Brothers in 1968. I guess they had a falling out, you know, and he went and replaced Bill Medley on tour for a while, but that didn't last long either. So as it always goes, it seems like these musicians, you know, they kind of have these breakups because of personalities, but they go on to do bigger and better things.
Absolutely. And this band kept going. They tried to keep going as the Knickerbockers into the 80s and stuff. Didn't have much traction on anything, but this is their biggest single. And there's a lot of personal history connected to this with me, which I'm going to tell you about right now. In 1965, I went to high school, a Catholic high school called Daniel Murphy High School in Los Angeles, okay? Nick ended up going there too. In my senior year, Nick was a freshman. Anyhow, in our freshman year, local disc jockey named Dick Biondi, he was a DJ at radio station KRLA in Los Angeles. He'd also played DJ, was a DJ all over the country. He came to LA. He put together a road show that went around to local high schools, colleges and stuff, and it performed. And the three artists that were there, one of them was the Knickerbockers, okay? They also had Billy Joe Royal, who sang Down in the Boondocks. You remember that song? And then another guy named Jerry Naylor. I don't remember what Jerry Naylor did. But anyway, this is my yearbook from 1965. It's called the Caleragan, 66 actually. And inside there's some pictures. You got to see them down at the bottom. I'm going to move them up to the screen. You can see the Dick Biondi Road Show. There he is right there on the left. That's Dick Biondi right here. And then you see the Knickerbockers right there in that photo over here. Then right here is Billy Joe Royal. So that's the Knickerbockers right there behind. I got to get all disoriented with this. The Knickerbockers are right there playing behind him, and this was in our high school gym where we played basketball and everything. So this was really cool. This show was fun to remember. They got us out of school for our lunch hour, and we got to see the Knickerbockers and a bunch of other great, great music for about an hour. And the Knickerbockers played this song, and on top of that, I've got a special surprise. We're going to do something a little different today. I actually got video of a live performance, not this one, but a live performance of the Knickerbockers performing this. Actually, it's like lip syncing from some TV show back in the 60s. You're going to get a real kick out of it. So before we do the cover of it from Ben Steele and his bare hands, but anyway, before we start, I'd like to please encourage you to subscribe, like, and share if you haven't, because there you go. We need more light there.
I'm kind of surprised that this song Lies only made number 20 in the U.S. It's a great song.
It's a rockin' song. I mean, a lot of people were comparing them to the Beatles. I mean, not their look or anything, but the sound. And it's just a very catchy, tasty song. I don't know. A lot of you young people probably would never have heard this, but you're going to be introduced to it, and you should go check out. Well, you don't have to check it out because I'm checking it out for you. But if you should check out this remake of it, it's because this guy brought it up forward into the early 80s. Two totally different versions. But let's get into it, all right? Besides, didn't finish. Subscribe, like, and share if you haven't, please. And those you have, we love you. Anyhow, here we go. Now, check out over Nick's head and my head. The video is going to come on. This is the Knickerbockers doing Lies. Here we go. Gotta get down.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, check it out.
Lies, lies, you're telling me that you'll be true. Lies, lies, that's all I ever get from you. Tears, tears, I shed a million tears for you. Tears, tears, and now you're loving someone new. Someday I'm gonna be happy, but I don't know when just now. Lies, lies, breaking my heart. You think that you're such a smart girl, and I'll believe what you say. But who do you think you are, girl, to lead me on this way? Hey, lies, lies, I can't believe a word you say. Lies, lies, are gonna make you sad someday. Someday you're gonna be lonely, but you won't find me around. Lies, lies, breaking my heart.
Nice Knickerbocker.
Someday I'm gonna be happy, but I don't know when just now. Lies, lies, breaking my heart. You think that you're such a smart girl, and I'll believe what you say. But who do you think you are, girl, to lead me on this way? Hey, lies, lies, yeah, baby, I can't believe a word you say. Lies, lies, are gonna make you sad someday. Someday you're gonna be lonely, but you won't find me around. Lies, lies, breaking my heart. Oh, Sarah, baby, now breaking my heart. Oh, but you're so breaking my heart, breaking my heart, yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? What you think, Nick? Wasn't it great to hear?
So one of the things I just loved about this is that the guy's standing up there singing, and he's got the saxophone, and he never plays the
I
saxophone.
think they were going to play other songs. But
I
that's-
think what I'm going to do in the future, if I ever in front of a TV camera, I'm just going to go up there with an umbrella and just hold it there and never use it. I mean,
You know what I've got to do now that I know how to bring some import videos a little bit, because I talked to my nephew yesterday. I said, how do I do this? I've never done it. And, we didn't want to clutter it up showing too many videos all the time. But I wanted to show this for this situation. But, Nick was on The Gong Show. And there is an episode, and it has been on YouTube, where it shows Nick's performance with his band on The Gong Show. Then it kind of disappeared. I'd love to find that. If I can find it,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to import it in, and you're going to get to see Nick.
Well, what
in
happens-
his 15 minutes of fame on Gong Show.
What happened was it was in 1977, and it was the Christmas show. So it was Christmas week. And it was shown for a while, and our little brother Orlando found it because I looked forever for it. And then we every time I go looking for it now, it's copyrighted, so it won't allow it to be shown. And it wasn't my band. It was a threesome. There was 3 of us that
right,
sang.
okay.
And we sang You're Gonna Lose That Girl by the Beatles. But it's a long story, and we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find it.
But getting back to this song, it is such a great song.
It is tasty, isn't it? It seems a little ahead of its time almost.
When it goes
even.
into Someday I'm Gonna Be Happy. I mean, that's so good. And you're sitting there looking at these guys and going, man, they made one great song. Why couldn't they make another one, you know?
Sometimes that's all it takes just to get you noticed, but you can't repeat. I mean, people just, it's hard writing a great song. I mean, it really is. I mean,
you know, and Frank was talking about this the other night. I think it was at Christmas or New Year's. I don't remember what it was. Is the Beatles came to America in 1964.
Right.
I always think it was earlier than that, and it wasn't.
Well, they were earlier in Europe. They were in Hamburg in 1963
yeah.
and playing at the Cavern. What is that place in Hamburg? I don't forget the name.
The Cavern.
The Cavern, okay.
Yeah.
And then they were playing clubs, and they finally had their first album.
No, the Cavern was in England.
In England, right.
Yeah,
It was some other place in Germany.
But the point is, too, look at these guys' hair. I mean, you know, their suits. They didn't want to really, quote, rock things up too much. I mean, their hair wasn't getting long yet. It wasn't until about 65, 66 that we started seeing the really long hair coming out. You know, it was well groomed. Everybody's wearing suits. I mean, you know, they look professional as opposed to the kind of rebellious kind of look we started getting in the 60s.
But I still remember
and
when I watched this video, I remember exactly their whole routine because they dance the same way. It was all choreographed when they did our show. And then, it was the same thing for this. So clearly it was saying, okay, you're going to dress like this, you're going to dance like this. But this was so much fun to see.
And remember, when
this.
they were performing, not in this case, obviously, they were lip syncing, but imagine if they were performing, they're only doing one song. That's why you got to watch that movie, The Thing You Do. And I'm sure most of you have, but if you haven't, That Thing You Do, it's a great one. It's about the progression from rock band to making it on national television. But they're playing at all these different, in all these different states, and they do one song. So the key is make sure you do that one song.
Do it right. Yeah,
and these guys could really do that one song.
Anyway, for those of you who haven't heard it, or even if you have, let us know what you think of the Knickerbockers, the video, how cool that was, and the sound of the song. I mean, let me know what you think of the song. It's a tasty old rocker.
And I didn't remember this lead singer being kind of chunky. I mean, they were showing him to the side, and he kind of had a second chin. Sorry if you're still out there watching this, fella. I don't mean to be critical, but I don't remember him at all, you know? Yeah. I don't remember him.
Well, it was only a one-hit wonder back in 1965. Then they kind of disappeared. But now, let's fast forward to 1983. And this is a band. It's not even a band. It's just
I've never heard this, guys.
Created by a DJ, a man named Donald Stewart Burns. He was a top 40 DJ all around the U.S. He finally made it big when he became a DJ in Toronto. He ran he was playing techno music. He had a streaming show. He had song mixes, and he loved techno music and started playing it a lot. And he formed this artificial name band and had this one album, this one single, which was the only thing he ever put out. And he named his band Ben Steele and his Ben Steele and his band. In his bare hands, Ben Steele, which is from Superman. Remember the old 50s show, Superman, where the narrator would talk about everything Superman could do. Able to leap tall buildings, able to bend steel in his bare hands. And that's where this line comes from. But you're going to love this. This is a techno-disco version of what we just heard live. So here it is, Ben Steele in his bare hands with Lies.
I like it. Wow.
What'd you think of that, Nicky?
I actually liked it, except for the very end when he kind of went up a little bit high on that one verse. But really, actually quite good.
Isn't it cool? I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds a little like Devo. I mean, it's got that Devo techno sound. It's just, I never heard this thing. It's only available on a 12-inch, 33 1/3 vinyl record. There's no digital of it, no anything. I just happened to catch it, and I saw it on YouTube, and I was able to capture the audio and use it. And I swear to God, this is just never heard this before until just the other night. And it's why he gave me the idea. Let's join these two together. I mean, we don't do many of these. We did it with the Kinks and Oingo Boingo doing You Really Got Me. And I don't think we did it on any other song, but I had to do this comparison because it was going to be, I knew you guys would get a kick out of it. I got a kick out of hearing it. And then watching the videos and this. What'd you think, Nicky?
I thought it was really interesting. And you notice how they didn't change "Someday I'm gonna be happy," because that is such a great line, a transition, and it helps you realize that's the crux of the song. You know, that particular movement of the chorus there is so nice. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I could hear it over and over, I think.
This was 1983, this song. So we went from 1965 to 83. And it just goes to show you the possibilities of not only doing covers, just like that Oingo Boingo version of You Really Got Me. Who knows what someone can reinvent, you know, in their own mind by updating it using the current methodologies, instrumentation, technology to create a totally different feel for a song.
So here's the challenge here. When you guys send us comments, let us know your favorite covers of certain songs, and let us, you know, when you're going to comment. And I know so many of you guys are so wise and have so much knowledge as far as music's concerned. I'm sure you're going to mention songs I for sure have never heard. Maybe Frank's heard, but no way I've heard them. But I always get a kick out of them because then I go listen to them and I go, wow, that was really cool.
That's what we're here to do, to care for your ears and bring delights from all the ages down, and then finding these beautiful, you know, connections between songs from earlier in the evolution of rock and roll and the evolution of modern music. It's just so much fun to find and discover, and it just excites your senses, and it also deepens your appreciation for not just the original song, but for all music across the board. We sure hope you enjoyed our fun day today, and my trip down memory lane to high school with the Knickerbockers, and then the cool cover by Ben Steele and his bare hands.
And we want to welcome back our dear friend from the Carolinas, MC Stammer. It's so glad that you're back, Mark. And
great to see you, hear that you're doing okay, and we look forward to having you back with the clan. And again, we'd like to invite all of you who haven't done so, please subscribe. If you hit that like icon when you watch the video, that really helps helps us promote the song a little bit more. And we want to share it with your friends. And again, for all of you who are already subscribed, you know how much we care about you. We appreciate you so much. Happy New Year to everyone. I mean, this video is probably going to be airing in mid-January, but even though it's still part of the new year, we're so glad you've been with us, and we thank you for all your support. Anyway, Nick and Knarf are signing off. Right, Nick?
Ciao, guys. Love you.
Peace out. Ciao, bambini.